Welcome to a Garage Geek 3-in-1. So today I'm going to do a 3-in-1, but it's going to be based mostly on comics and manga. Part 1 of this video is going to focus on manga that I read based on a recommendation by All Sorts of Words. So he recommended to read Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshima. And I was lucky because my library had this available on Libby. So I went ahead and downloaded the first 3 volumes, and I have to say, the first volume took me about 10 minutes to read, but wow, was it a gorgeous reading experience. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much, unlike All Sorts of Words, who did all kinds of spoilers. All Sorts of Words, stop spoiling everything. But I'm not going to be spoiling this, in case you want to read it. If you don't like manga, you would like this one. Sorry, I keep going back and forth, manga. Like most manga, they start off with a couple of pages, and especially the cover in color, but most of the volume is going to be in black and white. But I'm going to tell you, reading this on the iPad is just such a great experience because you can do that with the art. The story is basically about a very overprotective mother and the weird relationship that she has with her son. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything more than that. I want to show you some of the artwork. Now, this is going to be a very, very important image, but look at how you can go back and forth with that. I just thought that was so cool. But this image is going to be repeated, and it's going to be a motif in this manga. Look what you can do. It's so cool. You can like zoom in on the eye, and I was looking at the line work around the ear. It's pretty cool how you can zoom in like that. Here's another piece of colored artwork. I just think this watercolor is gorgeous. So most of the manga is going to be in this style with, just lines, drawing. It is a very quick read, but I do want to focus in and show you some of the interesting art along the way. So the next image I'm going to show you is a little bit gruesome, especially if you're an animal lover. So this isn't the best thing to show, but it is important in the story. And so it's an image of a cat that they find. And even though it's a gruesome image, it's actually really beautiful in the way that it's drawn. So here's another image. Well, I basically really like the double page spreads. And this one again harkens back to the weird relationship that the mother has with the son. And the son is trying to understand this relationship and oftentimes is very freaked out about it. They go on a trip into the woods, and again, you just get this gorgeous double page spread that of course you can zoom in on. Like with many Japanese things that I've come across, like the animated movies, there is a huge focus on nature, and this is no different. There is going to be a motif of these butterflies throughout this section. There is one double page spread that I can't show you because it would reveal too much of the plot. It would be a huge spoiler. And here again, we have this image that we had at the beginning of the comic, but it's done the opposite now. Here's another really cool image. This is near the end. And these are all just woods to show you the vast space. So there you have an overview of Blood on the Tracks, the first manga. Now, if you're interested, I am going to keep reading this series. Like I said, I already got the part 2 and part 3. This is such a fast read, but it was so fascinating. Every once in a while, it's really good to go into a manga for me because you get a break from the typical comic book that I'm used to reading. It immerses you into a different art style. I even had to remember. So at the very beginning, I remembered that I had to go from right to left. And even when I first opened it up, I was trying to move the comic forward this way when I remembered, no, I have to go the opposite direction. And one thing that I had to remember is that when I went this way, and I naturally wanted to come and go this way, but I had to go like this across. So I had to retrain it took just within a minute, but I had to get back into that routine. Anyways, Blood on the Tracks, highly recommended. This is a really cool manga, and I can't wait to see where this series goes. So part 2 of this is I'm continuing my whatnot spending spree. Although I've stopped buying them, they're still coming in the mail. So I've got 2 sets to show you, and I even have more coming. I'm kind of on a Valiant kick. I've been reading more modern Valiant, and that has given me the urge to want to read some of the old Valiants. I had these all as a kid. Most of them are dirt cheap because Valiant was way overprinted, to the point where I've seen videos where people are showing boxes and boxes of the same comic that are just sitting around and nobody wants them. So remember, I got all these for about $1 or $2. This is Ninjak #1. It's got one of those shiny covers. Bloodshot #0. Here's Bloodshot #1. Now, I'm really interested in this for the Barry Windsor Smith art. I got Julius Caesar from the classic. I'm trying to get a lot of these. Another Valiant. This is The Eternal Warrior. Valiant Masters. Now, this was a free comic book day, but again, I saw that Barry Windsor Smith. He's got such a weird, quirky style. Yeah, I wanted to get that. Here's a Korak, Son of Tarzan. Of course, I'm trying to get as many of the painted covers I can. Here is Tarzan of the Apes TV adventures. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now, this is a reprint. I have an older copy of this that I showed that was all beat up, and I think the cover went all the way up. This is a later copy of it. Here's another Tarzan. Toby Tyler. I don't know that show or movie. Must be a Disney. Yeah, it's a Disney show or movie. I'm wondering if that's Kurt Russell. I know he was a child actor, but the actor looks familiar to me. I mean, is that his real name, Toby Tyler? Or is that the character name? Don't know. And I don't know why I bought this, but I got this The Fly. I remember having this when I was young, and I thought, okay, I went ahead and bought that. So another set that I got this Army at War Sergeant Rock. That's a Joe Kubert cover. Now, I'm not a huge fan of his, but he's one of these artists that I need. He's so important in the comic field, that I need to get a better appreciation for his art. Donald Duck Adventures. These 2 are for my husband, but look, that one's a painted cover. That's pretty cool. Betty and Me. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Look at this. Tales of the Green Beret. The House of Mystery. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Another Archie and Me. This interesting Batman cover, Detective Comics. X Factor. Another Batman. This Batman, the art, I don't know, is that Bernie Wrightson? No. It says something lose. I don't know, that was just so strange. But it kind of reminds me of Bernie Wrightson in the way the shadowing is. But it's obviously not that great a piece of art. But I decided to go ahead and grab it. And another Batman. An old issue of Daredevil, number 108. The Beetle. An Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, such a great, great cover. If I remember correctly, I think that's Manwolf, his son. I'd have to check it out again. And here I have an older issue of Captain America and the Falcon. The whatnot insanity continues. I didn't mean to add this to this video, but when I got home from work today, I had 2 more boxes of comics. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and show them. The first box, I had this lovely old Fantastic Four. Look at that. It has a chip up here and a chip down there. But look at that. A John Byrne Fantastic Four. A Marvel Comics Present, and so that's Sam Keith art. Not a really old Flash. A 35-cent Flash. I'm happy to have it. A more modern looking Ghost Rider. For $1, I couldn't pass that up. Here's a Bob Layton Iron Man. I'm pretty sure that's Bob Layton. Walter Simonson. I'm kind of addicted to his art. I really like it. This is that famous 90s Batman. This was going for $7.95 and I got it for $1. This one is really bad. But it was DC versus Marvel, and these aren't really collected, and so I went ahead and decided to get it, but it's that awful 90s art. Here's a random Micronauts. It's later in the run. Here is 2 issues from Dark Knight 3. Frank Miller. You either love it or you hate it. I'm kind of both. Here's an old copy of Sergeant Fury. I got 2 issues of Metal Men. That's a pretty cool cover. This is Frank Quitely. I don't know, something about his art really fascinates me. This isn't one of his best covers, but that's, if you just zoom in on it like that, that's a pretty cool cover. There's the Sergeant Rock. Again, that's Joe Kubert, not my favorite. A later incarnation of the Phantom Stranger, but for $1 I picked it up. A later Spider-Man. This art is pretty bad in my opinion, but it's an homage to an original run Spider-Man, like really early, I think around the 30s. And for that reason, I went ahead and picked it up. Again, there's Walter Simonson. That's a great... This art is interesting and fun. Here's a copy of a Virgin variant. I don't absolutely love it. For the price I got it for, I decided to grab it. That was the small stack. Here we go with the large stack. Paper Guts put out 13 issues of Tales from the Crypt. It's like a modern incarnation. This was the last issue. There's a World Finest. Again, this is weird. This is Walter Simonson. You can totally tell. But I didn't know he did that much for DC, so that's interesting. There's another World's Finest. And the final World's Finest I got, I just thought that was a pretty cool cover. The swirling colors. Look at how Superman is turning pink there. This was weird. So this is Dynamic Classics, and it states right here, beginning this issue, the highly acclaimed Manhunter series. And then they never made another issue of this. I picked up a couple of these Supergirls for $1. I was like, okay. I actually don't remember if this series is good or not, but I went ahead and grabbed them anyway. A Casper, a 40-cent Casper. Even the vacuum cleaner is afraid of him. And then some Sal Buscema. The artwork that this guy does, I absolutely love it. And there's Carrion again. And that cover to me is gold. I think that is a gorgeous cover. I think Tombstone is a really cool villain. Look, he's all dressed up like a vampire there. Just a cool cover. All the rest I have to show, this whole stack, they're all Brave and the Bold Batmans. And I don't know, I mean, for $1 each, Batman teaming up with other people, I don't know if I should just fly through them real fast. Yeah, let me just do it. You've got a variety of guest stars, a variety of artists. Just a cool collection to have. Each one $1. Now, as I'm saying this, I believe I only have 1 or 2 more smaller orders from Whatnot coming in. But one of them is going to have an iconic issue that I actually bid a lot for. So I'm really waiting for that one to come in. Almost done. I actually have that one already. And there you go. Woo! Now back to our regularly scheduled program. After that brief interlude, we're going to right into part 3, and this is Comic Collector Geeks Friday Night Challenge. Now, I'm really behind. It's already Wednesday night, but I'm going to go ahead and show my 10 Silver Age comics. which is the theme for this week. Normally I show Marvel, I've been showing Marvel, but I'm going to go ahead and show some DC comics. The thing about a lot of the comics that everyone's showing, their comics are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm talking, X-Men #1s, Fantastic Four #1s. I'm very happy just to get reprints of those. I don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on comics. I'm not saying that I'm putting those other collectors down in any way. I wish I could do that, but I am happy to have reprints. So I'm going to show you 10 comics that I'm super proud to own. And the bad thing is that I've shown all these before, but I thought to myself, why not show them? Because I'm proud of them. So if you've seen my videos a lot, then you've seen these comics before. Just buck up. You're going to have to sit through these again. #1, I got this gorgeous Wonder Woman. I just think that is one of the best perspectives. This is that time when she was going through her 60s outfits. I mean, that cover is stunningly gorgeous. Look at the perspective on that. She's got her karate chop motion going on. I think this is a gem. This comic cover never ceases to crack me up. #1, I'm pretty sure it's Neil Adams. Look at that gorgeous artwork. And then look at Superman. Anytime Superman is being a dick, I want that comic. Look at him. That water is dropping and they are dying of thirst, and no one gets a drink until one of them is dead. I mean, look at that. That is priceless. That is gold. This cover shocks me. I can't believe they have someone, who's hung there on the cover of that. This would not fly today. Oh no, Jonathan, Dad, they think he's committed suicide. But it's called Curse of the Hangman's Noose. So maybe they get away with it because someone else did it to him. But they are clearly hinting that he committed suicide. And then you got this really dark cover, and then all of a sudden down here, plus the runaway super baby. Like, this does not fit with the theme of this cover at all. I mean, look at that. That's got to be one of the top covers of all time. This Specter comic cover, I mean, look at that gorgeous artwork. That is a stunning cover. Oh, by the way, I should have said this earlier. So Silver Age, or comics from 1956 to 1970. This one is another one of those hilarious covers. So Superman is just wailing on all of the Legion of Superheroes. Help, Superboy's gone mad. And I like this one. This one is, his legs are just sticking up out of the ground. And these two are they're hightailing it out of there. They're like, what's his name? Mon-El or something? They're like, see ya. We're not helping you today. Okay, this isn't one of the big comics like Superman, Batman, whatever, but this is one of my favorite comic covers just for I love the thick, dark lines used on the art on this. I don't know, something about this cover, just, it's like one of the, I keep saying that about these covers. These covers, the art is so good. And this is like one of my favorites. Next up, a perennial favorite on my channel, the comic theme that almost got me banned from the weekly comics. Sorry, Comic Collector Geek, but I love this comic. I mean, look at this Satanic Fury going on. This is a comic for kids. Holy Canis Interruptus. So enough said, let's move on. I call this the Green Lantern coming out cover. If only I dared tell the world the truth. He's coming out. This is a newer edition, and it's in quite poor condition. I still don't have it in Mylar, but I wanted to represent Flash. That's a pretty cool cover. This demon is attacking a girl and Flash is stuck in place. The evil sound of music. Oh. Don't listen to that music. And this one is like the bye bitch cover. I mean, look at this. He's like, you're out of here. Down you go, Robin. From now on, I work alone. Oh, that is so awesome. those DC comics used to have a lot of fun. So there you have it, my 10 Silver Age comics that you could get them all for $5 to $12. But you gotta admit, some of the artwork on these are gorgeous. And I'm so proud to have each and every one of these in my collection. Now, if you stuck around through the whole video to watch my 10 Silver Age comics, just to be disappointed because I've shown all these before, I'm very sorry. Thank you for sticking around this long, and again, thank you for all the support. Comments are always appreciated, and keep your fingers crossed for me that I don't go on What Not App anymore.